Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Professionals Unplugged. I am your host Utkarsh Shukla and today we have Prachi with us. Prachi, thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you for having me, Utkarsh. It's all my pleasure.
Thank you so much. So let's start with a very basic question. Can you please introduce yourself to our
Mm,
audience, like who you are, what
Def
work you do?
Definitely, why not? So I'm Prachi. I come from a town called Rohtak in Haryana. I have been raised and brought up in a well-educated joint family. It was a service class family, and I did my entire schooling and graduation from Rohtak itself. Came to Delhi for my post-graduation in the year 2007. And after completing my post-graduation in management, I landed up in a, analytics job in a US-based MNC. But then soon I realized that, this is something that's not my cup of tea, and this doesn't suit my personality. So, I'm someone who likes to communicate with people, and that ways, somehow I got into the education sector, and I feel that's the best decision I was, able to take at that point in time. So that's how I started my journey in the education sector, and since last 15 years, I've been serving in the education sector itself, Utkarsh.
That's really nice and it's really important to know like which part of the world you belong and what job
Yeah.
you're made up of, right?
Definitely, and I'm proud of my roots. So I come from a very small town, and I feel that I have been able to make a mark for myself in this sector since last so many years now.
That's really nice. So, can you just take us to this journey of your of being in an education world and
Definitely.
how you have evolved your role and what are your roles and responsibilities at this point of time?
Sure, sure. So like as I told you, I got a job in a US based MNC. It was CSE Computer Science Corporations way back in the year 2009. And after working there for 6 months, I realized that, I don't want to do this. So I got an opportunity with an institute called GIMT, that was Global Institute of Management Technology. So, I started with this admissions profile only. I used to counsel students. I used to, tell them what is good or bad for their own career, what career path should they adopt, and things like that. And slowly, I, basically entered into a more senior profile, wherein I shifted to Asia Pacific Institute of Management. That was a well-known institution then. So it again offers PGDM program, that's a postgraduate diploma in management. And, I used to interact with 500, 700 students every year for their admissions. And then I kept getting opportunities into various other business schools. I joined Asian Business School post that, and then I joined IFIM institutions in Bangalore. And currently I'm working with I Business Institute that's based out in Greater Noida. And just as you just asked that, how I evolved as a professional in this particular sector was, is something that I'm very proud of. So at every point of time in my career, I got bosses which were apt for that point of time. So at the initial stage of my career, I got a boss who could see potential in me. After that, I got someone who could actually show me the right path. So where I should go, what I should do next, so that, I could develop myself. And right now, when I feel that I'm at the peak of my career, I have my boss, who's someone who actually believes in me. So when you have someone who has that belief in you, you want to do good work. So that's a big motivation, I would say. So that's how I feel I evolved. And as I told you, Utkarsh, I come from a family which is into service class. Like, it is a well educated family that I have been raised in. So education was something that I felt that is, we should keep on being engaged in. So recently I did a post like SME program from I am Cozy Code. That was something that, I was looking forward to since so many years now. So I thought that I should get enrolled in this program. Then I am currently enrolled in a program of brand management from MICA. So I feel learning is a continuous process, and I again believe in that. The more you learn, the more you the more you grow. So that's how it is, and yeah, so I feel all these things have helped me shape my career to what I am today.
I think these are really nice point that you mentioned, especially like you continue to evolve yourself even at the time when you are feeling like you are at the peak of your career. You are still trying to
Definitely.
evolve with new.
And Utkarsh, at the same time, there are two things, your passion and profession. So obviously I tried making it, one for me. Also, I have a keen interest in image consulting. So recently I did a program in image consulting, which is basically into your communication, your behavior, your dressing and everything. So that's something that again is my interest area. And I feel knowing all of that and combining all of these things, I'm able to evolve myself or grow myself in this domain right now.
I think these are really nice point, and trying to evolve with the skills that are really relevant with your passion, right? Because interacting with
Definitely.
the students, you need to have that aura in yourself, and you need to help them with those skills as well in order to grow
Mhm.
and represent themselves. So coming to that part of your life where you need to interact with the students, so how difficult it is to interact with new students because everyone is different on their own path, right? And not easy to manage,
Mhm.
right?
Not only that, Utkarsh, and since last 15 years now, I have seen those changes in this coming generation. So currently, when we talk about this particular generation, they are more, they're more casual in their approach. So at our time, we used to think that, we have to work hard, we have to get things done, we have to get out of our comfort zone. But then these people, this generation Z, as we call it, they are more into shortcuts. So they want a very comfortable life, and work life balance is something that is a very fancy word for them. And dealing with such students, it definitely is a challenge. So you have to counsel them that ways that that there are things which are not easier. So you just cannot expect life to be a bed of roses, but then that's how it is. So you're very right that counseling this particular generation is really a challenge. And with that, I feel we into this profession are also, changing our mindset a bit. So we are also now shifting our focus from maybe, hard work to smart work, maybe. So that ways they also teach us a lot.
Right. And
Yeah,
talking about the smart work, AI is now being getting trend in the education sector as well. So
definitely. Yeah.
people are trying to have AI as a subject as well, although it's already there as an ML and AI, but now as a separate entity as well.
Yes.
What's your take on this, and how do you see it shaping the future?
So AI, I feel, is definitely something that we all should be looking forward to. So, sometime back there were notions like that AI would take all the jobs, and there would be unemployment all over. So that's not something that would happen. I feel AI is something that would help us getting work done very easier. So that's something I feel and I believe in. So AI is a tool, it's not a technology. So this tool, when we use it rightly, it would help us all, like in whichever domain we talk about, we'll be able to use it, in a manner that would ease our jobs only.
Right.
And I feel in the coming times, in the next 5 years, things would be, changed to an extent wherein, life would be easier for all of us.
Right. And about all these professions that we talked about, so what are the biggest challenges that you think you have faced till now?
Hmm. So, Utkarsh, being a private person, balancing your, personal life and professional life is something that, like, each one of us faces a challenge in. So, I always made sure that my one part of my life should not negatively impact the other. So my personal life should not negatively impact my professional life and the vice versa. So that was something that I feel was a challenge for me. But then I feel I'm able to balance it well now with the supportive family, and as I said, that I have been blessed to work with great bosses. I think I was able to manage them both. But yes, it was definitely challenging. And Kash, I feel choosing the right boss is more important than choosing the right job. So if you get right mentors at your life, you are able to grow well, and your success is certain for sure.
Yeah, I think Prachi, that's a very valid point. Like the people
Yeah,
you surround yourself with, especially your mentors, they play
yeah,
a key role in shaping your future, right? That's great.
Definitely.
And coming to the path you have been through, so any stories that you think should be heard?
Mhm. There are so many, but then I would definitely not like to talk about a particular story here. But then I would definitely like to share, how you know office politics or such things sometimes help us, feel grow out of our comfort zone. So most of the times we get demotivated by office politics, and we feel that, this is not something I would like to do. I want to run away from this. But then over the time, I have realized, as in when you grow professionally, and if you're able to make a strong personality or a strong persona of yourself, you can avoid such things. So most of us, we definitely face such things in our professional life. And I feel, and in fact I would like to share with your viewers as well, that it's better that we have our boundaries set. So there are things which we can't avoid in our professional lives, but then when we have our boundaries set, we can minimize the effect of such things. So there are many stories, but definitely I would not like to talk about it right now. But yeah.
And talking about setting up the boundaries, so do you think like they prefer from person to person? Like one person can be very much open to the things in office or in their involvement, while the another person is not. So there can be a conflict of interest at that point of time as well. So how do you think like setting up the boundaries work, or does it differ from person to person?
It definitely differs from person to person, and it a lot depends on our nature and personality as well, Utkarsh. So, but then been there, done that. So I still feel that in a professional atmosphere, it's better to have those boundaries set, because in your personal life, amongst your friends or family, you can definitely have many conversations that would not be apt for the professional world. So because that ways, those things that we'll be able to talk with our friends or family can be considered a gossip in the professional life. And these things definitely negatively impact our professional life. And not only that, as a person, or maybe as an employee, but then it affects the culture of the entire organization. So if two or three or maybe five people are involved into certain things which are not apt for a professional atmosphere, it definitely negatively impacts the culture of the entire organization.
Right. And what are the main advices that you follow in your life and that you like to share with the audience?
Okay. So there are a couple of things, and which I feel I have learned over time. So when I started my career, I was definitely, very, I would not say that I was mature enough to understand what is right and wrong and what should be done. So everything I have learned over the time. So again, first thing that I would like to tell everyone, that hard work does not have any substitute. So if you feel that we can just pass away things, or we can defer things, that's something that we all should avoid. So we should definitely stick to the path of hard work. If we work hard, we may not get the results right now, but these things definitely help us at a later stage. Second, I feel, as I also mentioned earlier, Utkarsh, learning is something, or education is something that should be continuous. So the more you know, the more you grow. People sometimes say that education doesn't matter, or what we did in our college is not helping us much, but it is not like that. So sooner or later, we definitely realize that whatever we learned during our school days or maybe college days, or right now also, it definitely helps us in our professional things. So learning is something that should be continuous. We should not stop. Third, I feel we should get out of our comfort zone. So till the time we feel that this is something that I feel I'll not be able to do. So that's a hurdle. So you should definitely cross that hurdle. And when we get out of the comfort zone, that's when we start getting ideas out of the box. So that's something that is really important to for all of us. And fourth, I feel we should never forget our roots. So where we come from, the values that have been instilled by our family and friends, or maybe our hometowns, or wherever we come from, that those values actually lays the foundation to everything. So your integrity, your honesty, and everything comes from your roots only. So that's something that I feel that we all should follow.
Right. And following the same thing. So what's next for you?
What's next for me? Okay. So, Utkarsh, I'm a very ambitious person. I'm an ambitious individual. I don't want to stop. I'm unstoppable. So, as I told you, that I'm currently enrolled in a brand management program with MICA, and I definitely would like to leverage that in my coming roles. I recently did a senior management program from IM Kozhikode, so I definitely want to step into a leadership role. That's one thing. And I like my personal goal, my ambition is to become a thought leader in my own domain. So that's something that I look forward for, and I just hope that I keep getting the steps to reach that
That's really
ambition.
nice.
Yeah.
And we wish you a lot of success for the same. So thank you so much
Thank you, Utkarsh.
for sharing your journey. It's really inspiring, and
Thanks a lot. It was my pleasure, and it was lovely having this conversation with you.
thank you so much.